Lads, welcome to This Week on Sorare Game Week 304 review. First of all, if you are new to the channel and you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. And if you do enjoy this video and the content, please do leave it a like. It does really mean a lot to me. On the agenda today, we're going to be looking at my personal game week for 304, how I got on, did I win any rewards? Then we'll take a look at some of the best scoring players of the game week. And finally, we'll take a look at some of the results over the weekend and the scores required to win prizes in Game Week 304. And if you didn't know already, the scores were absolutely insane this past weekend. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so from a personal perspective, I'm going to be leaving this game week with Tier 1 rare card, which I'm absolutely over the moon with. Kicking us off is the All-Star rare team though, and a couple of DMPs. Well, actually 4 DMPs. My goalkeeper wasn't always going to be a DMP, to be fair. I just bought him in just so I could play a all-star rare team because I'm low on rare goalkeepers right now. Dalot and Fofana's fixtures were cancelled. Daniel Utkin scored 116.7 points for me as my captain, which was wild. Goal and an assist from him against Spartak Moscow in a 4-2 victory. And Ahmed Kutku didn't get off the bench in a 1-1 draw away from home. So yeah, I'm definitely not leaving this game week with any ETH from All-Star Rare. Moving on to under 23 rare, bit of a mixed bag. Starts off really well. Enzo Fernandez with a nice AA score for me as my captain. Nothing crazy though. Jens Odegaard got himself a goal in a 1-1 draw against FC20. Daniel Utkin, like we've already mentioned, I do have 2 cards of him, but unfortunately I did not captain him in this lineup, which has cost me a tier 3 rare, which is very annoying. Seo Young-woo with an okay score, even though they lost 2-1 at home to Potang. And then Lafont is my goalkeeper, man. This guy's just killing me right now. Ever since I've bought him, I don't think he's kept 1 clean sheet. They conceded 3 goals away to Lorient. I know it was a tough game, but man, he's conceding far too many goals for my liking. And yeah, subsequently, that and maybe the Utkin non-captain has definitely cost me a card in this division. But 310 points with a really bad goalkeeper score isn't terrible, but definitely not enough to win a reward. Next up is the under 23 rare pro lineup, 13th, which is the top tier 1 position. So tier 1s from 13th to 44th. On top of the tier 1 list, which is an unbelievable achievement considering Tanguy Kouassi or Tanguy Nianzou came off the bench and only played 23 minutes. A really frustrating situation here. I know I'm still in 13th and I'm over the moon for that, but the fact that Tanguy didn't start, and what makes it even more annoying is Sevilla, they played a few really young players. Like this guy here was registered as a Sevilla Atletico player, which is the second team basically. But yeah, of course they play Champions League midweek, so I'm guessing they had that to look forward to. And that maybe is why Tanguy was on the bench. But they did win the game, to be fair, 3-2 away to Espanyol. But yeah, Florentino Luis with an unbelievable AA score, 47 away to Famalicão. Jesus Ferreira Saturday night scored 2 goals at home to LAFC. I was buzzing to wake up to this, to be honest, because I knew it was a tough fixture, but LAFC did have a man sent off, which really did help. Jurien Timber is back doing what Jurien Timber does best. 100 at home to Heerenveen. It was an easy game on paper, but 75, nearly 76 AA, which is ridiculous, really. But yeah, had a really, really good game. Got his triple, 3 tackles, 1, 3 interceptions, 7 net duels, 1. He did have, an attempted assist as well, a penalty area entrant, and a contest 1. Yeah, just an unbelievable game for him, and I'm just glad to see him sort of back doing what he does best, smashing those hundreds in. And then Diogo Costa got himself a clean sheet at home, which I was so pleased with, because if it wasn't for that, I definitely wouldn't be fishing in the tier 1 prize pool. And yeah, 11.9 AA. His kicking's been really good recently. He lost the ball once in the game. 3.7 points from accurate passes, which is big. 0.5 points from an accurate final third pass, and 1.2 points from accurate long balls. So yeah, really pleased with his distribution and a couple of saves as well to go with it, along with the clean sheet. Yeah, definitely helped me secure this top end tier 1. What does make this a little bit frustrating though, I'm 56 points away from winning the division, right? And Badiashile, which we could see up here, scored a 78, and I have his super rare, and I decided not to play it, of course. We all fall victim of these situations, but if I play my Badiashile here, who's a super rare defender, it's a like-for-like replacement, I win the division. I know it's easy to say that. Just frustrating. Just really, really frustrating. I know you're probably thinking, why didn't you play Badiashile? He was at home. I just thought it was a tough matchup against Lyon. I thought Lyon would score a few goals. They scored one. But yeah, Badiashile scored himself, which is hard to foresee as a centre-back. But yeah, scored from a corner. And yeah, just really frustrating. And I thought Tanga was going to start. Of course I did. I really didn't think he'd be benched. But, you know, with European rotation, there is always that risk. But yeah, nonetheless, over the moon to say that I will be opening a tier 1 later on. Moving on, 223 Super Rare, 279 points. Just nowhere near good enough, really. No decisives at all. Kosetani played in a 1-0 draw, so no clean sheet for him. Carlos Cuesta with a respectable 19 AA, considering they conceded a goal, so no clean sheet. Don't mind that. Bata Eel as my captain. Came off the bench at half-time. Pretty disappointing. I thought he would start this game. He started the last 3 games, but Richie Delate started ahead of him. So that killed me as my captain. Yari Vasharan in a 2-1 loss. Scored 10.4 AA. Just, again, not good enough. No decisives from Yari as of late. And João Mario came off at the 60th minute with a 12.3 AA score. To be fair, he did play quite well. Played right back. Created a load of big chances. Attempted assists. And had a shot on target. So definitely had chances to get that DA, but didn't quite do so. 80 points away from a tier 3 Super Rare. Underdog Super Rare had surprisingly a few decent scores. Sforza being the main contributor to that, a 39.8 AA score, which is unbelievable. This guy was a tier 3 Super Rare that I won. And to be honest, he's been performing unbelievably well for me over the last month or so. Koga with a poor score in a 4-1 loss away from home. Raysol have been shocking of late. Sekikawa with a decent 16.32 in a 1-1 draw away from home again. And then Yobe Fatessen got off the bench. I didn't expect him to start, to be honest. I kind of knew he would get minutes. I just didn't know how many. And 8 minutes is all that Ruud van Nistelrooy could give him. And yeah, wasn't enough to get a decisive from the bench. 63 points away from a tier 3 Super Rare in that competition. But yeah, overall, over the moon to be leaving the game week with a prize, and a good one hopefully at that. Let's move on to some of the best scorers of this game week. Okay, so it felt like there was a lot more hundreds than last week, just at a quick glance. Just looking at the top here, Wanyama with a goal and a nice 100. Saskai for Frontier with a nice 100 and an assist. Lantratov, goalkeeper in the Russian league, scored 100. And I think this contributed to the first ever perfect 100 score in All. Actually, I don't think it was in All-Star Limited. It was in Limited. Might have been Challenger, which we will get into after this. But we have seen the first perfect score by a Sorare player, which is just wild. Rob Schufs there with 2 goals and 1 assist. He's been on fire recently. Grimaldo, perfect 100. Tadic, 3 assists, perfect 100. Daley Blind with a perfect 100, no decisives. We've got Jurien Timber, of course, up there as well. Rui Puig. I did see that he took a penalty in that game because Chicharito missed a penalty earlier on in the game, which meant that Rui Puig stepped up for the second penalty and scored it and got himself 100, which is huge. Brenner, 3 goals, 1 assist, 100. That's massive. Decipher with 2 assists. I think they both came against Anderlecht. Tony Kroos with 100, 1 assist there. Wendell, 3 goals. Jesus, I know they won 8-0. I didn't realize Wendell scored 3. Malcolm, 2 goals, 1 assist, perfect 100. Cody Gakpo, goal, perfect 100. He was on like 80 before that goal as well. He was absolutely smashing against Warwick at home. Douglas Santos with a perfect 100. There's 3 Zenit players there, all perfect 100s. Van der Sun with a perfect 100. So yeah, definitely a nice chunk of 100s. Maybe not as many as I thought there was, but we did see a lot of high scores in general. Maybe not hundreds on their own, but definitely like 90 plus. It just feels like everyone scored really, really well this weekend. Caio Henrique with 2 assists for Monaco. Kai Wagner with 2 assists for Philadelphia. Modu Barrow, 2 goals and an assist. Slobosly with a 98.6. Wow, that's big. Goal and an assist. Hopefully he can kick on from that. Handanovic with a 96. Jesus. Sommer with a 96. Wow, what is going on with these goalkeepers scoring so highly this game week? That's wild. Otamendi, 96. Pedro Goncalves, goal and an assist with a 95. Nuba with a 94. What have we got over here? Nothing crazy. There's Daniel Lukin. Rodrigo with a 92. Jonas Svensson with a 93.1 and a nice assist. Jesus Ferreira with his 91, 2 goals. Mazraoui with a 91 for Bayern Munich. Toby Alderweireld, 91. Alphonso Davies, 90 with an assist. Lewandowski off the bench with a goal and 2 assists. Taremi, goal and assist, 90. It just seems like this is just massive scores across the board. Danny Ceballos with an 87. Mariapan 87. Obispo 87 with no decisive. Donnarumma, I think he got a penalty save actually, didn't he? And a clean sheet for his 87. Nico Williams, goal and a penalty 1. Boyata 87, no decisives. Sorry if I'm missing a few players here, but yeah, it just seems like there's loads and loads of dark green scores this weekend. Almada with a goal. His goal is actually really, really good. Jonathan Mensah with a goal. Hans Vanaken, of course, with a goal. Rodrigo de Paul, goal and an assist. Ladero with an assist. Shaqiri with a goal there. Fontas with an 84. That's a nice little AA there. Kondogbia with an assist. Yeah, just some real crazy scores on the whole, to be honest, this game week. Which subsequently meant that winning rewards became a lot harder because, yeah, a lot of the big guns really did pop off this game week. We'll now take a look at some of the scores over this game week and just highlight any shock results or any like huge results. This was Friday night. It doesn't seem like there's anything really there to shout about. So we'll move on to Saturday and see if there's anything here. John Buck 5-0 away to Daegu. That's massive. Gangwon 4-0 away as well. Some big scores in the K-League. 4-0 for Frontale against. I don't think that was a shock to me, but I didn't think it would be 4-0. I thought there'd be goals from both sides in that game. Bayer Leverkusen could only get a 2-2 draw away to Hertha Berlin. Leipzig beating Dortmund 3-0 was a bit of a shock result, to be honest. We'll click into that. Timo Werner with an assist, like we said. Szoboszlai with a really good score. Nkunku's gone on a bit of a dry patch recently. Simakan with an 84 with an assist. Willy Orban with 100. Wow. Gulassi, clean sheet. Bellingham with the only really good score here, to be fair, from Dortmund, 35 AA, which is really, really nice to see. But yeah, that score really shocked me, to be honest. 3-0 loss for Dortmund. Hoffenheim 4-1. Bayern Munich could only manage a 2-2 draw against Stuttgart. PSG only winning 1-0 to Brest, which was kind of a bit of a shock. I thought they'd score more goals than that, to be honest. Messi with a nice score. Mbappe, no decisive, but a 11 AA, which isn't bad. But, you know, if you want to win those big prizes, you need to be hitting those decisives. But yeah, I thought that scoreline would be heftier than what it was. Inter Milan 1-0 at home. Barcelona 4-0 away to Cadiz. Wasn't really a shock, I guess. Ajax 5-0 at home to Heerenveen. Again, not much of a shock. Sporting 4-0 at home to Porto Muniz. Nothing crazy there. Charlotte beating New York City is a bit of a shock. Swiderski with a 76 and 1 assist. Trippin B would be over the moon with that result. Yeah, New York City have gone off the boil massively recently. I'm not sure really what's going on there. But yeah, massive result for Charlotte FC. Moving on, AC Milan winning 2-1 away to Sampdoria. Atletico beating Celta Vigo 4-1. Marseille beating Lille 2-1. Porto 3-0. Nothing out of the ordinary really this week. New York Red Bulls beating New England Revolution 2-1, but without Carlos Gil, as I'm pretty sure his wife had their baby over this weekend, so he wasn't present. Cincinnati 6-0 at home to San Jose Earthquakes. Brenner with the 100. Acosta with a goal and an assist. Burrell with a goal. Ever since I've sold Burrell, he's gone on an absolute heater. Which is just really annoying to see. Brandon Vasquez with an assist. Nice to see Matt Miazga in there as well. But yeah, really poor scoring from San Jose. Atlanta 4-2 against Toronto. 5-1 Philadelphia against Orlando. There's the FC Dallas LAFC score. 2-1 to FC Dallas. Houston 0-0. Real Salt Lake 0-0 with DC United. Rooney scraping a draw away from home. Portland 1-0. Colorado 3-1. Ulsan losing to Potang Steelers. Anderlecht losing away to Westerlo, I guess that was a bit of a shock. But with Anderlecht playing midweeks, it's always going to be tough getting up for 2 games every week and playing as optimal as they'd like, because I don't think they have the biggest squad in the world. Real Madrid 4-1 at home to Mallorca. PSV winning 1-0 at home. Again, not many shocks, really. Nantes losing 3-2. Of course they did. Iona Lafont. Of course he's going to concede 3. Elche losing 4-1 to Atletico Bilbao. Zenit 8-0, which, I mean, I don't think it was a shock, but 8-0 is a bit crazy, isn't it? Barrios with 99.5, Wendell 100, Malcolm 100, Douglas Santos 100, Mostiov 77. Yeah, they just went crazy, to be fair. The keeper still managed to score positively, 6.1, even though he conceded 8. But yeah, definitely a crazy score there. USG losing to Genk at home was a bit of a poor result there. Getafe beating Sociedad. Sociedad having so many injury issues right now. Rostov beating Spartak. Feyenoord 3-0 against Sparta Rotterdam. Nothing crazy there. Monaco with the Badia Shield score, which is going to haunt me for a little while. Boca Juniors beating River Plate was also a big result for them. I don't know if any of you saw the video of Benedetto scoring the header and then all the fans like running down to the pitch. Obviously they couldn't get on the pitch because of the barriers and the cage and whatever. But yeah, it was just wild to see. Games in South America, that's something that I need to experience at some point. But yeah, this was Monday night. I don't think there was much going on. Mets lost 6-3 to Queen Camp, which is crazy. Roma beating Empoli away from home. Eibar winning 4-0. But yeah, no like crazy results this weekend. But the Zenit score is a big one. The Ajax score obviously is a big one as well. PSG won with a clean sheet. So, some of the big guns still won and still won very, very well, which did result in some crazy scores across the board in the rankings. So we'll kick it off with All-Star Limited, 545 points. To the winner, Donnarumma, Tadic, Douglas Santos, Wendell, and Lewandowski. Jesus Christ. Basically, every player scored almost 100, and Santos scored 131, which is just bonkers. Last year's Zenit cards are, of course, keeping their 5% season bonus, which is a topic, I guess, in itself, but it definitely is contributing to some of these massive scores down in Limited. As you can see, Wendell must have a 10.5 season bonus, which means, obviously, if he scores 100, his card will then score 110.5, which is just nuts. 545 points. That is absolutely wild. Top 11 all scored above 500, which is just nuts. It really, really was nuts. Like, if you didn't have any of the Zenit boys, it became pretty tough to creep into that sort of high-scoring top 10. Where was this perfect score? I'm pretty sure it was here in Challenger Europe. Yeah, this was it. So this guy here scored the first ever perfect score in the history of Sorare. Every one of his players scored 100. His goalkeeper, Malcolm, Dusan Tadic, Douglas Santos, and Wendell. 565 points. That is absolutely insane. That is actually wild, though. That is the first time it's ever been done. Yeah, surprised it hasn't been done any sort of sooner than that. But yeah, absolutely wild. Annoying that he's done it in Challenger Europe and not All-Star, because obviously he's not going to get as good of a prize, you'd like to think anyway, than he would if he played it in All-Star. He can't win Mbappe basically, because it obviously is in Challenger. How were the Champion Europe Limited scores this weekend? 451 at the top. So yeah, the scores in Champion for once aren't as crazy as Challenger. I guess, with Ajax and Zenit both going crazy, then that obviously is a contributing factor to that. But yeah, Champion Europe, 451, quite expected, I guess, for Limited. Handanovic, Lewandowski, Messi, Cuadrado, and Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. Yeah, still big scores, of course, but it's not Challenger Europe Limited scores. And let's have a look at Under 23 Rare Pro. So top of Under 23 Rare Pro, which was the division that I came 13th in, here I am down here, was a 498 point scoring team. Thiago Almada is captain, Alphonso Davies, Cody Gakpo, Jesus Ferreira Super Rare, and Mamardashvili in goals. It's a big, big score, to be fair. A lot of the Wales up here, as usual. Belmar, Dream Villain, Zlataner, Johnny, KR, Brooklyn Football Club. A lot of the normal guys up here. And then little old Harry Trades in 13th. A-Bot below me. I'm very proud to say that I beat A-Bot this game week. Sorry, Italia is another big one. Obviously, really pleased to be in 13th. And yeah, just annoying that I couldn't take advantage of that Badia Shield score to win me the division. Under 23 Rare, 502 points. What? That's nuts. Diego Costa, Timber, Kochu, Daniel Utkin, and Cody Gakpo. Wow, that is an unbelievable team and an unbelievably high-scoring team as well. 502, the only player in Under 23 Rare to get over 500 points, and deservedly so. Wow, that is an unbelievable score. To be honest, Under 23s on the whole this game week were very high scoring. I don't think that's down to any the stacks. None of the Zenit boys are Under 23. I just think the individuals that normally pop off, Gakpo's, Donnarumma's, Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, Kochu, a load of the boys did pop off, to be fair. So yeah, if you had a combination of a couple of them, then obviously you were laughing this weekend. Under 23 Super Rare though. See, it's crazy how the scores here are just lower than Under 23 Rare. Hadel, so somebody won the division with a Hadel 24.9, but it does help when Jesus Ferreira scores you 131, Timber 122, and Hamada 107. But yeah, scores aren't as crazy here, to be completely honest. I thought they would be a little bit higher than that. What about All-Star Rare? What were the scores over here? I bet big. They must be big with the Zenit boys. Yeah, 504. And of course, the 3 Zenit boys on display with Justin Bilo and Martin Terrier in there. 504 points. That is absolutely wild. All-Star Rare Pro? I'd like to think, yeah, higher. Wow, a lot higher. Jesus, 552 points. That is absolutely insane. Wow, I did not expect. Like, I don't play All-Star Rare Pro so to like really gauge what the scores are normally, but I guarantee you the scores are never this high. That is unbelievable. 552 points. That is absolutely insane. And then in second, 542. Wow. PSU in ninth with 502. Yeah, those scores are wild. I gotta be honest. Yeah, really, really high scoring week, to say the least. Okay, I hope you did enjoy this game week review. If you did, please do leave it a like. And like I said at the start of the video, if you are new around here, please do subscribe. If you are yet to sign up to Sorare, there's a link in the description of this video that will get you 1 free limited card once you've purchased 5 from the new card auctions on Sorare. I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great upcoming game week, and I shall see you guys in the next video.